And my blush is Pinch. This was my everyday, casual, no makeup, my Charlotte Tilbury. Hi team, I'm Lydia Fay, your Ginger Gal Pal, and in today's video I'm going to be creating this masterful look. It's just a no makeup, simple, summer, beachy, step-by-step tutorial that I have in store for you today. And the hero product will be these Mecca Max off-duty sticks. I've recently fallen in love with them, but you'll hear more about that in the video, so let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, starting off with a nice fresh base. I've already done all my skincare prep and I'm staying hydrated. Side note, how adorable is this mug that Matt got me? He's definitely indulging my mug collection, which he should not because I've got way too many mugs in the house, but she cute. Oh, ready for consomme. So depending on what your day entails, I definitely suggest starting off with an SPF. So I normally use something that's designed for the face, like this Mecca Cosmetica, with an SPF 50 plus. I feel like once you go over 30 plus, it's all kind of quite similar. I try to, being a ginger, I try to avoid anything like 15 SPF because I'm like, that's just not enough for me, especially back living in Australia, Queensland, humid, sunny, gorgeous weather, but also I get burnt to a crisp. So anytime I leave the house, I definitely have to wear SPF. How many times am I going to stuff up saying SPF in this video? But I strongly recommend that it is the best anti-aging product that you can buy, so I recommend you wearing your SPF every time you leave the house. And depending obviously what activity you're doing for the day, you will have to reapply. So I just really like the consistency of this. Like it's got the colors kind of there to make sure that there's no white cast on the face, and it just is like a nice tacky, almost like primer consistency. So I feel like that's why it always applies well under makeup. I also got this SPF for the face in England. I haven't been able to find it since I've come back to Australia, but I like that. It was designed well to go under makeup, and I like picking a face SPF because I feel like body ones can be a bit heavy and a bit greasy sometimes. So yeah, I normally choose one that's designed well for the face. So either of those works. Depending on how my SPF's feeling, I'll go in with something like this, just like a simple hydrating primer for a bit more plumping if I want. I do quite like this one because it's meant to be a hybrid. So it's a moisturizer, a primer, a mask to transform the skin. So it's just really hydrating and plumping. So I do like using that one. So just to add to a bit more hydration, a bit more of a glowy finish for this no makeup look. And depending on what activity I'll be doing, ranging from going shopping, going to the beach, this, that, or the other. Depends on which foundation I'm probably going to use. So I can use it like a light BB cream. I can just sheer down a moisturizer. Oh my god, why can't I talk? Sheer down a foundation with moisturizer for a bit more of a lighter coverage. But for today, for today, I'm going to be going in with Estee Lauder Double Wear. It does have SPF in it, but again, that's probably too low for me, so that's why I've already gone in with my SPF. But I really like, I've actually just started using this one. Obviously, Estee Lauder Double Wear has been around forever. It's a cult classic. Everyone loves it. Great evening wear, but I feel like it does sheer out for day wear quite well. And I like the color because color matching is very much each to their own. If you're getting confused, go into your local beauty shop and one of the specialists there will be able to help you. But depending on how I'm feeling, sometimes I match my base color of my face, which is quite warm because of my freckles, but sometimes I like to match my neck because that's a bit lighter and I kind of bring that color up. Sometimes people match the shade that they have here to out here. Each to your own. You know, you do you, boo. You're the one that has to wear it. Make yourself comfortable. So normally I do go lighter and bring that color up. Because I always, like, even when I was younger, I had makeup artists kind of give me a color that I thought was too dark for me, and I'd go along with it in the store, I'd buy it, I'd take it home, and I wouldn't wear it because I wouldn't feel comfortable. I'm like, this isn't me, like I'm a pale ginger, like I want to embrace that. So be unique, embrace your, I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, so I'm just going with a beauty blender. Okay, so she is looking glossy and glowy, natural finish. Depending on the coverage of your foundation you're using, I'll now go in with a concealer. So I've got this Bougie by Terry concealer. So it's for dark circles, like color correcting serum kind of thing, but I'm only going to use a little bit on the inner circle where I'm at just a little bit like a blue tinge to it, just to kind of even it out a bit. But depending on your coverage, you can always just skip this step. Okay. Next I'm going in with this Very Loved bronzer. Hitting the pan, you know I use it every day, but I just feel like it's got like a bit of a glow, like a bit of a natural brown tone. So it kind of like enhances and defines the eye, but kind of doesn't look like you're really wearing eyeshadow. It's very subtle. I know a lot of people that just use their bronzer as an eyeshadow because it kind of just ties everything together. I just want to warm up the eye a bit. Not like a big smoky eye or anything like that, just something to add like a little bit of definition. I'm just going to go in again with a big fluffy blending brush just to make that line look a little more subtle. Cute. Okay, I'm going to do my eyebrows next. I'm just going to brush them up a bit so we can see what we're working with. Kind of brush them into a relatable shape. That looks a little bit better. And then I just like to fill them in. I normally don't start over this side. I kind of start in the middle because sometimes I can go a bit heavy-handed and then it's kind of hard to retrieve. So I'm just starting here in little feathery motions to fill in that brow. Fill in that brow. Again, if you do get a little heavy-handed, you can just brush it out a bit, smudge it out, no one will know. You know, just because we're not putting on too much makeup, we just want to divine the face? Define the face. And divine it, I don't know. Again, depending on your activity, you might want to put in a gel or tame your brows somehow. My brows don't need much taming, really. They kind of do their own thing within their borderline, but sometimes I kind of brush them up so they look a little bit tamed. I know that this is a big step for some people and they like to secure their brows for takeoff, you know? I mean, I could leave the house like this, but I won't. Now for the big secret of the video, the big game-changing products that I'm going to be using. So I have these 3 cream sticks. So we've got our contour shade, we have our highlighting shade, and we've got a blush shade. So these are Mecca Max's off-duty sticks, and I've never been much for cream. Like contour used to scare me because it looked too harsh and too complicated, so I always just used a bronzer. And like cream blushes, I always steered clear of them because they sounded scary too. But I find that like, I don't like that matte down look anymore. I like a soft dewy look. So it's like, using a liquid and a cream together, it kind of just makes sense rather than putting another powder on, and it definitely suits that like no makeup look. Or even when I'm going to the beach, I really love to take like my blush in my handbag because I like reapply sunscreen and things like that, and then just dab it on the cheek just to add like a bit of color. Like if we go in the water and then we go out for coffee or something else after, it just like makes me feel a bit lifted because I can be very washed out, so it just adds like a bit of color to the face. So they're great handbag items. Contour. So Charlotte Tilbury says follow the hollow, so that would be that bit there. I feel like I'm just gonna go slightly above that just because I know that I'm gonna blend it out and it's gonna smudge, and higher is kind of better. And there. So I'm just defining my cheekbones a little bit. Are they uneven? We can fix that, that's fine. Also I like to make my nose a little bit smaller. It's all an illusion. So how scary does contour look? So it feels really intimidating because when it goes on, it's so scary, but then as soon as you start buffing it away, so we're just putting this side in shadow and darkness to hide it away, and then the higher points, you want your focus to be drawn there, because I've just got an itty bitty nose, you know? Well, I do now. And then I could pat in with my fingers, but I don't know why with the contour stick, I do like to use just a little blending brush, like quite a dense one, just to kind of take that up. Sun-kissed kind of look. I don't have much of a forehead, so I don't do a lot of contouring there. I just bring up a little bit. I feel like this is my secret to kind of subtle no makeup look. Beach, gym, coffee date, you know, just you want to look a bit zhuzh, but like you've not put in a lot of effort. Not that anyone wakes up like this, let's be honest. Maybe Beyonce. She could stop here, but she won't. Next, I'm grabbing my blush. So this is one that just like adds instant lift and color to my two-dimensional little chubby face. Where are my cheekbones? I guess we'll never know. Kind of like that lifted kind of look. Sometimes I do like the rosy, what are they called? The apples of your cheek. But I feel like sometimes that kind of brings it in too far. So I kind of start here and just dot it up a little bit, starting at the high apple of the cheek. So with this, I don't really go in with the brush. I just kind of dab it out with my finger. Because I love like the warmth of your finger definitely just warms up products and disperses it around the face very, very nicely. Okay, dab, 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 spready, 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 blendy, 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 blend it with the contour a little bit, just make up my own rules wherever I want to place it. And I naturally kind of bring it into apples a little bit with my dab, 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 dab. So I don't want to bring it too far down because then my face looks a bit saggy. No one wants a saggy face. And so just using a different finger if I thought I brought it down too far. Reshaping my face, you know? I'm happy with that. Sometimes you could do a little like warm bit on the center of your nose. That was a trendy thing to do for a while. The kids were doing it, so I started doing it. A highlighter stick. So going in with my highlight shade, you know how you just naturally got a glowy button nose, so put a bit of glow there. I put it in here a little bit. I don't normally connect them. I try and keep that quite light coverage. Depending whether I'm wearing a mask or not that day, that'll probably come off. And then just where I want a bit of a dewy, maybe up here a little bit. Tap, 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 tap. So now she's looking like an off-duty model, glowy look, no effort, just chilling, glowy goddess. So if you're curious, my highlighter is shade Champagne, my contour is medium, and my blush is Pinch. So they do have different shades in the range. I love them because you can kind of build them up for a glam look or have them as a base and put bronzer and blush on top of them, or like I said, no makeup look. They're very versatile, very easy to use. I was so intimidated, but I'm so glad I'm converted. Cream products, who knew? So depending how bougie I'm feeling, I'll curl my lashes. Again, it's optional. Okay, so I like to give them a bit of a brush out and a separate before I go in with my mascara, because we always curl our lashes first before we add mascara. Because I'm not sure if everyone knows, but I've heard horror stories of like a friend of mine's done her mascara first, gone in, clamped down, the product has stuck to the curling wand and her lashes have come off with it. So definitely do this first, you know? But again, optional. Then I'm going in with this Mecca Max Whiplash. So I like this because it's quite an affordable mascara, but it's got the tubing technology. So I'm not sure if you've heard of tubing technology before. It's become all the rage because normally you had your traditional mascaras and then waterproof mascaras, which I used to like waterproof, but then they're so hard to take off, and as you're taking it off, I feel like sometimes you can damage your lashes, whereas tubing is a tube. So you just visualize your lash and it just coats the lash completely. So like it's quite water resistant, like if you're smudging your eyes a bit, it actually activates to come off with warm water. So as you have a shower or whatever, you kind of just pull off the product and you're just like going like that with your lashes and it kind of comes off in clumps. So it's a lot better for your lashes. But some of them can be quite expensive. There's like Hourglass, Cabinet Quan, like there's a lot of brands that do it. They're also hypoallergenic, so since they don't flake or fall into the eye, they're quite good for people with contact lenses and things like that. So if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me. So I normally start with my lower lash line, so that then when I'm doing, if I do my top lashes first, I feel like then when I'm doing my lower ones, my top lashes end up smudging. So I always start with the lower ones. I'm just gonna do the outside corner. Again, so depending on how dramatic I want the look to be, I can do a few more coats of my mascara. So I do like to keep it separate because that's, and not too clumpy, because that's what makes it look a bit more natural. All right, she's feeling good. So lastly, I'm gonna go in with a lip. So I'm just gonna go in with my Charlotte Tilbury. I think it's gonna focus, but I've got Pillow Talk, and this is the supermodel one. So she's got the original matte one, but I just find that this is like a nice everyday texture because it's quite hydrating, but still has a lot of pigment to it. So, and the Pillow Talk is the one that's got that like nice nude shade that matches everyone's lips. The iconic nude that goes with every lip. That was my Charlotte Tilbury impression, and it was awful. I'm not gonna line it because again, meant to be looking more natural. I don't want it to look too defined. I'm just gonna blur out the edge a bit. But yeah, it's super hydrating. I like the formula of it. So yeah, it kind of just lifts the look a bit because it's not an unnatural looking color. These could be my lips, you don't know. But yeah, it just adds a bit of oomph to the look. Also, I'd probably take something like this out with me. So it's just a tinted lip balm, but it's good for everyday wear because it does have the SPF 30 in it. And like I've had sunburnt lips before, and trust me, it ain't great. So I'd take something like that out just to top up a bit of color and protect me from the sun. Okay, so this is my final look. I know it's nothing exciting, but it wasn't meant to be. This was my everyday, casual, no makeup, glowy look. So on a day when, yeah, I'm just going out to lunch with Matt, or we're going to the beach, or even sometimes at work when I don't have a lot of time, because this is such an easy look to do. I like that it's not too much, it's a bit lifted. It makes me feel a bit more confident when I've got a little bit of a face on. So yeah, this is the final look. So it was nice to be back in the studio playing with makeup. Comment down below if you enjoyed this video, if you've got any video ideas for me, if you like, or if you've got any of the products that I've recommended down below. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love playing with makeup. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. But that's enough ginger for one day. Bye guys.